APTN Investigates returns this week with an all-new episode. Investigative journalist Brittany Guyot looks into the mystery surrounding the death of Charles Oudie. Oudie's body was found wedged in a Vancouver storm drain in 2015. Authorities declared his death an accident, but his family has never stopped searching for answers. With more on this story, Brittany joins us now from our Winnipeg newsroom. Thanks so much for joining us, Brittany. What are the details surrounding Charles Oudie's death?
Thanks for having me on. So Charles was a First Nations man living in Vancouver, BC at the time. One evening in September 2015, he and a group of his friends decided to go out for a night on the town. Over the course of that night, they visited several different establishments, and eventually the group ended up back at a friend's house, and around 4 in the morning, Charles was asked to leave the residence, and the details thereafter are disturbing. Charles was found upside down and headfirst wedged into a storm drain. His pants were sitting at thigh level. He was found with no socks or shoes on, and his personal items were scattered across the back alley where he was found. And so it's important to note that the storm drain that he was found in was approximately 4 feet in length, whereas Charles stood tall at about 6 feet. And so this is just one instance in which the Oudie family says that the circumstances surrounding his death are suspicious.
Absolutely. And so what led to the closure of the investigation?
So the case was initially closed just a couple days after Charles's death. And so the Oudie family wasn't happy with the progress of the investigation, so they filed a formal complaint with the police department. And shortly thereafter, the case was reopened as a homicide investigation and then closed again in 2017. So it's unclear why there was this back and forth of closing, reopening, closing, but Eugenia Oudie filed a Freedom of Information request and shared that with APTN Investigates, and we get into the police investigation details in our episode.
Okay, and what has the response been like from authorities?
So far, the responses from the Vancouver Police Department and the BC Coroner's Service has been pretty tight-lipped, offering very little in the way of new information. And the Oudie family has gone as far as to say that the treatment of Charles Oudie's investigation has mirrored very similarly to what we've seen play out with missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls. And they are going to continue searching for answers, and they ask that if anybody has any new information regarding Charles Oudie's death, to please come forward.
Okay, well, we'll need to end it there, Brittany, but thanks so much for the preview, and I'm looking forward to watching tomorrow.
Thanks for having me on.